Today is the 3rd of October 2024, and this recording on the day of her birth is dedicated to my trusted revolutionary comrade Zandi Radebe of Black House Collective Soweto. My official names are Arnold Michael Steenbank. I am better known as Mike Steenbank among landless compatriots now barely existing under racist oppression after that political betrayal on the 27th of April 1994. Over a period of 20 plus years, I have shared worldwide more than 101 commissioned affidavits after filing with the Judicial Services Commission, Parliament, Judiciary, Executive, and all organs of state implicated in the longest-running politically corrupt trademark case in the world. The shortened content of this recording is drawn from the admissions of a violent, illegitimate regime falsely disguised by mainstream media, the IEC, and others as the Democratic South African Government. Unique company registration number 2001/019108/08 one day soon will be stripped bare by an African tribunal without a single Mandela-ized racist or coon present. Mine is the only truthful version admitted by Nedbank, Pravin Gordhan, Alec Irwin, Astrid Luden, Rob Davies, Rory Voller, Ibrahim Patel, Lionel October, Parks Tau, Tuli Madonsela, Raymond Zondo, Busisiwe Mkhwebane, Koleka Kaleka, Financial Intelligence Center, South African Reserve Bank, and all others mentioned. Now, the case against Western Cape Judge President John Hlophe originates with Constitutional Court judges in the year 2008. Thereafter, extremely violent, racist fraudster and thief George Bizos, with Johan Kriegler of Freedom Under Law, began working toward impeachment proceedings against Judge John Hlophe. It is both significant but also bizarre that in JSC Complaint 489 of 2016, I fingered George Bizos SC as the linchpin in the racist fraud and theft of Gold Reef City Casino, Nedbank, and the National Lotteries Commission. Rule Jethro Khoza, now Chancellor of the University of KwaZulu-Natal, is at all material times chairperson of both these violent racist corporate thieves. Anglican Reverend Barney Pichana, a violent 34 million rand non-white thief, is now chairman of the National Lotteries Commission. Barney is fully aware that under NLC Project 18052, Rule Khoza, George Bizos, and Richard Moloko conclusively prove exactly which unlawfully incorporated thing stole my two registered trademarks, the Apartheid Museum. Both George Bizos and President Nelson Mandela, in full knowledge of the Judicial Services Commission, were allowed to die without being prosecuted for crimes against humanity. It is both significant but also bizarre that the Democratic Alliance, Corruption Watch, Freedom Under Law, and the Parliament that impeached Judge President John Hlophe in February 2024 were fully aware of all my unchallenged evidence. For me personally, MK Party President Jacob Zuma, MK Party Deputy President John Hlophe, and MK Party voters are most confounding. On 16th of July 2024, they too, like every public servant in both houses of parliament, received under oath an unchallenged dossier of definitive state capture, beginning with Nelson Mandela. In full knowledge of the Judicial Services Commission, Freedom Under Law, and others, racist thief George Bizos pushes the case for the impeachment of Judge President John Hlophe. This time, the infamous saying that justice should not only be done but should manifestly and undoubtedly be seen to be done should also apply to the extremely violent, thieving racists and coons in Parliament, judiciary, and executive who have betrayed the people's trust. Because Parliament represents all the people on the Judicial Services Commission, I must inform the world that Dan Mzizi was murdered after President Nelson Mandela entered into that secret endorsement bribe agreement with Zionist Solly and Abe Kroc. Fully aware of every admission conceded by Chief Rabbi Warren Goldstein, I now have no doubt whatsoever that all 18 political parties will agree to my assassination. The separation of powers doctrine was abandoned by the three spheres of this illegitimate regime in order to further endorse Jewish memories of Mandela, an extremely violent, thieving, non-white slave successfully groomed for betrayal by Zionists and Jews. Violent racist thief Judge Brian Southwood hijacked an empty courtroom on Friday, the 20th of June 2003, to hand down punitive cost orders against me in favor of a purportedly juristic person that cannot exist in law and most certainly does not exist on paper. Case number 32237 of 2002, the first of about 25 instances of fraud upon the court, stands as an incurable racist disgrace against all three superior courts. I am not willing to be assassinated without speaking through our 27 years of torture, trauma, and absolute destitution in my own words. Mandelarism is a crime against humanity that through cadre deployment brought extremely violent, unrepentant, thieving fucking racists together with cowardly, self-hating, thieving fucking coons throughout judiciary, parliament, executive, the JSC, and every administrative organ of state. Even mongrel dogs and bitches do better for preservation of their species. My name is Mike Steinbank. For the black child yet unborn, thank you for listening and sharing worldwide.